Okay, guys, welcome to this very special interview for Dave's LFC Chats. And I've got an absolute legend with me today, Thomas Gronnemark. I think I pronounced that right.
Yeah, that's totally right, Dave.
Liverpool FC. Thomas Gronnemark, the throw-in coach of Liverpool, and plenty of other teams, Ajax, I think, as well. But we're interested in Liverpool, of course, because this is a Liverpool channel. Welcome to the show, Thomas.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Dave. Appreciate that I had the opportunity to come here.
Thank you very much. Do you know what, as well, I read about you? You actually had the world record. You held the world record for the longest throw at one stage, didn't you?
Yeah, I held it for almost 10 years, but I said it in 2010. But in 2019, there was an American guy called Michael Lewis who beat my world record. But instead of being like really grumpy and angry, I was just happy for him. So I actually set up a tryout for him, 14 days tryout in Denmark, and he also had a chance to beat his own world record in Denmark too. He only missed it again by 31 centimeters. So I had the world record for 10 years. It was fantastic, but I just enjoyed to share to people. So yeah.
Congratulations, by the way. First time I've had a world record holder on my show. Okay, so we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of the throw-in, the science, the stats, Liverpool, of course. We look back to Liverpool, I think it was the summer of 2018. Liverpool had just lost the Champions League final against Madrid, of course, unfortunately 3-1. We finished, I think, fourth place. We got a Champions League spot, but we hadn't won anything up to then. There was doubts about Klopp. There was doubts about this, that, and other. You'll always get that with any club. But there was the fact that Klopp came in October 2015. He has been an absolute breath of fresh air. You know him. You've worked with him. But summer of 2018, it changed. It all changed for you, didn't it, Thomas?
Yeah, you can say that. I was riding with my wife and my two kids just on a small one-day summer trip, and we had to visit a chocolate shop. And before we went into the chocolate shop, I just looked at my phone. And I could see there was plus 44 number has been calling, so I just listened to the voicemail. It could have been anyone, but then it was Jurgen Klopp on the voicemail. And I've always dreamed about coaching in the Premier League. Also, a really big club like Liverpool FC. So if I hadn't been sitting in the car seat, I'd probably been tumbling over. So yeah, I tried to call him back, but he didn't answer. So I thought, hey, might as well go back to my own home and take perhaps the most important call ever in my life. So I was driving the car, my wife sitting beside me, the kids in the back, and then suddenly the phone rang, and then my wife picked the phone up and she said, "It's Jürgen." And then I just took the car, go right, directly to the right, pick up the phone, and it was Jurgen Klopp, and he said, yeah, we had a good season in 17-18 with a fourth place in Premier League and Champions League final, even though we lost. But we lost the ball almost every time we had a throw-in. So he invited me to Melwood, and already the week after, and it should only been a meeting, but Jurgen Klopp was so convinced after the meeting that already the day after the meeting I had a chance to coach 21 Premier League players. It was all the players who weren't injured or at vacation after the World Cup. And then already the week after I signed my first contract with Liverpool FC. And yeah, now I'm into the third season and I love it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, to work with a man, even to work with Liverpool FC, for starters, is a dream for anybody. I mean, especially if you're a Liverpool fan. But I mean, to work with Klopp and that backroom staff, even like the likes of John Octoberg, the goalkeeping coach, and Pep Linders, of course, and Peter, it must be a dream. I know Klopp, he comes across, I've obviously never met him, but he comes across as a perfectionist. Everything is down to the finest of detail. And obviously you being a throwing coach, that's what it has to be. He obviously looked back on the campaign and said, what are we doing wrong here? What can we improve on? What percentages can we keep bringing up? That's what I like about Klopp. That's what I like about this team. We've been improving. The trajectory has been going up and up and up and up. We've just won the Premier League for the first time in 30 years. But someone like you coming in as a throw-in coach, I mean, I said the other day to a guy who's been in football a long time, and I mentioned I was doing a chat with you, and he goes, "I've never heard of a throwing coach in my life." Like it was a new concept, wasn't it? I mean, it is alien, really, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, it's a new concept, especially when after it was leaked out that I was in Liverpool FC. But I started already in 2004 as a throwing coach, but it was mainly Danish Super League clubs. Even though that was a pretty high level, I didn't have my real breakthrough. But of course, Jurgen Klopp and the club itself saw that it was the club's big weakness, and there are normally between 40 and 60 throw-ins in a match. And actually, in the 17-18 season before I came, and this is not my numbers, it's Tifo Football's numbers, so it's unattached analysis. They said that at throw-ins under pressure, where the players are marked, Liverpool had a possession on 45.4%, and Liverpool were only number 18 out of 20 in the Premier League, so third last. But in my first season, together with the team, we improved the possession on throw-ins under pressure to 68.4 and went from number 18 in the Premier League to number 1. And some might say, oh, it's only a throw-in. No, it has the same consequence. If you lose the ball, you're often caught out of balance. The opponents can score a goal, and if you keep the ball, you keep control, you can create a chance, and you can also score a goal yourself. So some people are saying throw-ins are marginal gains. No, it's massive gains. It's gigantic. It's only because of the football culture that you think that throw-ins are a small thing. You can just look at the numbers. It's massive. So.
Yeah, no, I did. I had a look at them. You have a good YouTube channel, by the way, as well. Everybody will have to check out. There'll be a link in the description for Thomas's YouTube channel. But I mean, like, as I said, I played a bit of amateur football back in the 90s here in Ireland, in Dublin, and the throw-in for me was something that you do just to get the game back on, playing. It actually was a tool to waste time as well. I mean, a lot of people, I know you can get a yellow card for really, but I mean, it's really a free kick. I mean, it should be used a lot more. And as you say, if you're, say, a defender, you probably know the answer to this, though. Do the fullbacks, Liverpool fullbacks, Robbo and Trent, do a lot of attacking. They're really wingers nearly. But they do a lot of throw-ins. And I think you did a one with Robertson when you came in, the Scottish fullback Robertson, about his throw-ins weren't particularly good. And when you came in, the percentage just went up.
Yeah, you can say if you're just looking at his throw-ins, then he improved his throw-in from 19 to 27 meters. And 19, that's really, really short. And it meant every time Liverpool had a throw-in in the left side, it was really easy for the opponents to put on pressure on the team on the left side. So even though Robo probably never will be the guy with the world's longest throw-in, he put on approximately 500 square meters on the throw-in. And on top of that, you can say that, first of all, Robo can throw really precise, but he's also really good at seeing where is the space created when we're having a throw-in. And that's my main work in Liverpool FC. That's how we are creating space all around the pitch. So I'm working with 3 different zones, 40 to 50 throw-in tools, and then the players are also using their own imagination and fantasy. So in theory, we have perhaps millions of options. So every time the opponents are locking 1 or 2 of our options down, then we'll have 3 or 4 other options. So it's really hard to cover.
And as you say, I mean, a good throw-in where you can hold on to possession and control the game. I mean, you can throw it up the line and hope it's a 50-50 that their defender might get it, then come on the attack, possibly score a goal. That's what we're talking about here. It's actually controlling the game and holding possession, isn't it? when you have to throw in. I think that's probably the basics, is it?
Yeah, that's the basic. And when you have possession and hold control, then you can after that create chances, score goals, or do it sometimes directly. But you were saying an important thing, Dave, here, that most teams, they're doing a lot of throw-ins down the line in small boxes where the ball is headed, and they hope to keep possession. And we don't want to hope anything in football. We want to make the chance as big as possible to keep possession, create chances, score goals. So if you're hoping, you're in a really bad situation, because it means that you can't do anything yourself. You're just hoping to be lucky. And of course, sometimes at throw-in situations and in football in general, you are lucky. That's the way the game is. But again, we want to raise our chances to have success with the throw-ins. So that's my main work. So I'm not only working with the fullbacks, it's all the players on the team. So
it's brilliant. Now, as you say, it's no use hoping in a Premier League top level, elite level, as Liverpool are now, and were when you went in, but they've even gone higher again. Probably a lot thanks to you. But hope doesn't cut the mustard, does it? I mean, it's control. You want control. You want to control that pitch. You want to own that pitch, basically. And Liverpool's press as well, which they're, Gengen press. Klopp is famous for it. But when you came in 2018, some of the senior players that were there, maybe Henderson, were they a bit skeptical? Throw-in coach coming. What's going on here? Or did they just jump in and say, "Lovely, this is going to be a great idea"?
I think they just jumped in because what I said at the very first training session was to the players just before the first throw-in session was that there are normally 40 to 60 throw-ins in a match. Most teams have possession in under 50% of the occasions when have a throw-in under pressure, where the players are marked. If you had the same percentage with your feet, you'll only be playing Sunday League football. And after that, I said, I'm not going to make you into Stoke number 2. With that, I meant we're not going to do a lot of long throw-ins towards the opponent's goal. That was not the aim. And directly after me, I had like 45 seconds. Then Jurgen Klopp came and said, we had a fantastic season last season, 17-18, but we lost so many throw-ins. We can really improve in this area. I've been getting Thomas to help us here, and he's a throwing coach, and I know it's a special thing, but I'm 100% sure that he can help us to improve. So if you got the knowledge from the guy who's doing it, you got the backup from the manager, of course you're standing there as a player and think, hey, that may be, together with many other things, be the things that are getting us up on top, both internationally but also in England. So of course I've met many players who are laughing a little bit when they hear about throwing and throwing coaching. But as long as they're concentrating, I can also have some fun myself. Sometimes I'm also laughing at myself. I'm saying I have the weirdest job in the world, and that's probably right. So I've only met motivation and concentration, not only in Liverpool, but also my other clubs.
Yeah, you have other clubs, like the likes of Ajax and Ghent and Mjøtland, is it the Danish club?
Yeah, I'll say it's really different from season to season. Some clubs I'm in many seasons, and the third season with Liverpool. Last season I was with Ajax. Ghent I was with for 2 seasons, so it's like we have to go all the way to the end of the season to see how many clubs I've been coaching. But I'm having my 4th club this season here in a short while. So, and last season I had 8 different professional clubs. So I'll even though it's not a competition, I think I'll probably go over that number of clubs because there are big interests.
Brilliant. No, and you're doing a great job, of course. But I mean, as you've come into Liverpool 2018, we start winning trophies. I mean, you know what I mean? And I don't know whether that's a coincidence, Thomas, or it's a lot to do with you. I mean, it probably has something to do. It must have something to do with you as well.
It has something to do with it, but it's always hard to say how much it is. If I should say it myself, if you're going from being really bad at throw-ins and then going to be really good, then I'll say that's perhaps 5-10% better general performances. So of course it's really hard to measure. But if you're really good, really bad at a thing that's happening a lot of times in a football match, and then you're turning around and being the best, it means a lot. But again, the performance of the team, it's a lot of different things. So and that's the strength of Liverpool FC, that the players are working together, the staff is working together, the club is working together. It's not only I have to have success. No, people are sharing knowledge between different departments, and so that's really the big strength in Liverpool FC.
So just before we go as well, obviously Jurgen Klopp is probably the most famous manager in the world at this moment in time. What is the man like to meet and talk to? Is he the same as I would watch on YouTube or on the television? Is he similar or different? Or
no, I'll say he's perhaps even better, because, and that may sound really difficult, but the reason I think, aside of Jurgen Klopp, that not so many are seeing is that he's, first of all, a really good listener. So he has gigantic amount of knowledge, but I've really been feeling that he's been listening a lot to me about my knowledge, but also to me as a person. I try to be the same way myself too. So that's one of his, I think, big strengths that you're not seeing in media, because I think everybody knows that he's kind, he's funny, he's ambitious, he's like going into small details, and so and then you also have to be courageous to let other people come in, into your club, and because often if you're a person with big power, it doesn't matter if it's football or in a company or so. Many people tend to say that I want to have all the power here, I decide everything. But I've been given a free role with the throw-ins in Liverpool. Of course I'm getting feedback, of course I'm talking, communicating, but I had been having an open role. No one has said to me what I had to do. Of course, when I'm doing the sessions, when I'm doing the training plans, when I'm there and so on, I'm talking with people. But I have had the opportunity to have an open role, and that's a strength as a leader, to give your employees that.
How many times a year would you be in Melwood? Would it be once or twice, or would you be?
The last 2 seasons I've been have visited the club 5 weeks, and it has both been at Melwood, but I've also been at training camp at Evian, France, Marbella, Spain, also this summer in Austria, also Liverpool here, and so 5 visits per season, and there I've been coaching 2, 3, 4 training days per visits, and then I'm also analyzing all the matches on video with the throw-ins, so I'm getting the attacking and defending throw-ins on video, and no matter if I'm sitting here in Denmark or traveling all around the world, I'm sending feedback and a throw-in analysis back to Jürgen and the other staff. So that's the way I'm working in Liverpool FC.
Wow, I really congratulations to you as well, my friend, because you're really doing an absolutely great job, and I can see it as being a Liverpool fan watching, and you're going to get a lot of credit from me. Before you go as well, I just want to say, Liverpool, so you came in 2018, so that's 2 years ago. So the stats for Liverpool's throw-ins has obviously gone up in a trajectory in the last 2 seasons. So last season, the end of last season, we won the league, first time in 30 years. It's been an unusual time with this coronavirus. I know it's different. Next year is going to be, this season's going to be different. But it has gone so well for Liverpool. I've noticed the throw-ins. You rarely ever see a foul throw anymore at the elite level, don't you? It's rare. It's very rare.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So the cardinal sin for you is a foul throw.
Yeah, I'll say it's not often you see a foul throw. It's much more important for me to look at how are we creating space, what different tools and systems are we doing, are we still working on the basics, that's important, but are we also developing new ways of doing things? And it's also important for me that the players are also developing things themselves. It's not for me like a playbook in American football where we're saying you can only do this and this and this. No, they have so many different options. They know what can work in each different zone. There's 3 zones, and then the players are deciding themselves. And it's much harder to defend if you have that approach that only have 1 or 2 or 3 different tools you use every time. So yeah, I'll keep working on the throw-ins together with the players and the staff.
Brilliant. You're doing as I say, a brilliant job. It's been absolutely brilliant. I've enjoyed every minute, Thomas. Thank you very much for coming on the show. I'm going to give you the last minute to give yourself a shout out for your YouTube channel and anything you want to say.
Yeah, I'll just say you can find me on social media. Find me on YouTube. Just search Thomas Gronnemark. I have some videos. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. I also have a homepage called thomasgronnemark.com, just with O. And then I also have some free videos for people on my newsletter. And if you want to get these free videos, and until now, last couple of months, 3,000 coaches from all around the world have picked them in. So if you want to have these free drills on my newsletter, you're just typing thomasgronnemark.com and then /free. So that's pretty easy. And then again, write to me on social media. I try to answer everybody.
Yeah, no, you really helped me out, my friend. I remember messaging you a few months ago, and you were saying that you were in Austria, I think with Liverpool at the time.
Yeah.
And get back to me.
Yeah, people really want to hear the story. Of course, it's all from the really big, like New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Forbes magazine, but also to smaller podcasts, journalists. So for me, it doesn't have to be like big and fancy. It's just if people have the passion and want to learn more and give good content like you are to your listeners or viewers, then it's I think it's perfect. So I just really like to share my knowledge and help people with a passion. So
you're an absolute legend, Thomas. It's been brilliant. I'll put all your descriptions in below for the video, and it will be out soon. I'll talk to you soon. Take care and stay safe, and your family.
Yeah, bye bye.
Cheers.